Okay, it's Monday, September the 3rd, 2018, and this is the 5-Minute Podcast Review. Hope you're enjoying the last day of the Labor Day long weekend, if you're a US listener, and I guess if you're actually listening today on Labor Day. I know the Labor Day long weekend is the symbolic end of summer in the US, and of course it's the end of summer in all of the Northern Hemisphere, but down here in Australia, we're into the third day of spring. Things are slowly starting to warm up, and summer's not too far away for us. What's all that got to do with podcasts? Not much, but I suppose could be some kind of segue into the first podcast I want to mention, a surfing podcast called Lipped. Now, there's quite a few surfing-related podcasts around, but I reckon Lipped is one of the best and sounds just like the audio version of a good surf magazine. It's based out of Australia, one of the world's surfing hotspots, but really covers the global surfing scene with coverage of surfing competitions around the world, interviews with surfing legends, reviews of boards and wetsuits, and just general surfing banter. A little bit like this.
Fuck, I've definitely had a lot of dumb moments. It was about 2008, 2007. I was in Bali, and there was a little Hawaiian guy out there, super nice. I chatted to him every day. And then it was like second last surf, third last surf. I was like, oh, by the way, I'm going to Hawaii at the end of the year. He's like, no way, I live there. I shaped the boards out of the back of my shed. Oh yeah, that's cool. He's like, oh, I'll do you 2 or 3 boards when you come over, like a gun and a step up and maybe a shortboard. And me being the idiot I was, I'm like, no, it's all good. I got Burton's shortboard and I got Brownies as my gun, so I'm good, mate. Anyway, watching Trestles next year at work, like, oh, we're gonna cut down to John Shaper, and I was like, fuck me, I told John Parzell to stick it. I didn't want boards. That's how dumb I am.
That's an awesome story. See, Lipped family, that's what we want. We want stories like that on the soapbox.
Righto, so if that little story meant something to you, you might want to check out Lipped. On the other hand, if you didn't understand it at all, well, maybe Lipped isn't for you. Episodes of Lipped can run for up to 2 hours, so good for those long-distance surfing trips or just filling in the time when the surf breaks aren't working. I guess you could get a waterproof headset and listen to Lipped out on the waves. Waterproof headsets do exist, I know, because I got one to listen to podcasts when swimming laps, but it doesn't work so well in the pool when your head, or your ears at least, are actually submerged in the water. But up on a surfboard, I reckon they'd work pretty well. Anyhow, that's Lipped. Now, speaking of segues, as I was at the start, this next one is completely unintentional. I've just realised it. But the next podcast I want to talk about is called Silent Waves. So Silent Waves has nothing to do with surfing. In fact, the subject matter is pretty heavy. Silent Waves deals with the issue of childhood sexual abuse, in this case, familial childhood sexual abuse, which is the term given to abuse that comes from a near relative. One of the extraordinary things about Silent Waves is that it's produced and presented by the victim, Raquel O'Brien, as virtually her therapy, a way of coming to terms with what happened to her and what happened in her family. Raquel takes a microphone and records conversations with family members, often having conversations, asking questions and raising issues that have never been discussed in the family before. And Raquel says it's the first time all her family have heard each other's perspectives. It's a fascinating example of what a podcast can be, in this case, a form of therapy. Raquel credits the making of Silent Waves with getting a life back on track. All 7 episodes of Silent Waves are up now, each running about 30 minutes, and definitely an engaging and confronting listen. Okay, that's it. Quick one this episode, but check out Lipped and Silent Waves. You can search for each using your podcast listening app, or just use the links I've put on your screen. I'll see you in the next episode, and thanks for listening.